Yet another murder in Willburgh. The Shirlington Post, issue 1279, August 5th, 1879. The latest in a long series of murders taking place in the village of Willburgh leaves behind first surviving culprit. It is no secret that the village of Willburgh is the subject of many a conversation these times, and with no less than 27 murders, of which 24 has been confirmed as cold-blooded manslaughter, over the course of 6 years, it is no wonder why this infamous little village is so discussed. With only 157, or rather 154 residents, it is hard to believe how such a small crowd can be the source of so many murderers, but Dr. Orthanus Brown may have discovered the reason behind the mayhem.
"It is, without a doubt, a fascinating case,"
the good doctor exclaims excitedly.
"A terrible, terrible situation, of course, but nonetheless fascinating beyond belief. When taking into account that this inconsiderably small number of people has been accountable for more than 1 in 100 of the murders committed in the entire country these past 6 years, something is sure to be amiss."
Dr. Brown is currently employed as the headmaster of Midsworth Lunatic Asylum, an institution located only a few dozen miles from Willburgh, where the clinically insane can find refuge and be treated by the best doctors in the country.
"I don't believe it to be coincidences,"
the good doctor continues.
"This study of cranioscopy tells us that certain features of the cranium has been proven to be linked to murderous intentions. The large number of murderers in Willburgh might later be found to be linked to a genetic epidemic of murderous lunatics who can't be held completely responsible for their own actions due to their hereditary predisposition. This will be the main subject of my studies concerning Mr. Hannoway."
Edward Hanoway is the first murderer to have been apprehended alive. The previous 9 offenders all succumbed before they could be arrested. The readers might remember how Robert Pinsby was beaten to death after having killed his wife, a bystander, and 3 of the local men as they attempted to overpower him. Perhaps they remember Michael Flinch, who after having killed the local barkeep was cornered by Shirlington police. He then shot and killed 4 police officers and himself with his Einfeld service revolver issued to him during his time with the British Army. Father Silas Brenton was gunned down by the police after having killed 7 of the 12 sisters in the Willburgh convent during a sermon. This makes Edward Hanoway unique in that he not only was captured alive, he gave himself up after having murdered the local sheriff, the town crier, and the mayor's aide. The whole situation made even more bizarre by the fact that Mr. Hannoway at the time of the murders served as mayor of Willburgh, and the group of men had met that night to figure out a way to stop the killings.
"What we must remember,"
Dr. Brown says as a final word,
"is that just as in the case with the murder of Spencer Percival in 1812, we are dealing with a madman, or rather a series of madmen. All of these men have had the cranium of a madman, just as John Bellingham had. These men were deserving of restraint rather than punishment, which is why Mr. Hannoway has been admitted to my asylum for study rather than having been sent to the galley."
The doctor hopes to find a cure for insanity in his upcoming study of Edward Hanoway.